She called me a homewrecker. She humiliated me in the condominium group. But the building's camera proved who she really was. What was supposed to be just another peaceful routine in my building turned into a nightmare because of one person, my neighbor from 203. You know that kind of neighbor who meddles in everything? The one who watches from the window, comments on other people's outfits, complains about the sound of laughter, and who always has her phone in hand, ready to record or criticize. That was her. But what I never imagined is that one day she would accuse me of the worst possible thing, trying to seduce her husband. It all started with sidelong glances in the elevator. Before, she would even greet me. Then, she started pretending I didn't exist. She avoided me in the hallway and whispered to other residents whenever I passed. I could tell. The tension was clear. But the trigger came one Tuesday at 10 a.m. I was going downstairs with the trash when she approached me in the lobby with an aggressive tone. "You think it's nice to hit on other people's husbands?" I froze. I thought I'd heard wrong. "Excuse me? What do you mean?" "Don't play dumb. I saw the way you look at him. I saw you smiling at him in the elevator. He told me you're always making conversation." At that moment, I felt the ground disappear. First, because it wasn't true. Second, because I barely knew her husband. I only said, "Good morning," like I do with any resident. I tried to remain calm. "You're confusing things. I'm polite to everyone here." But she didn't want a conversation. She wanted trouble. "You're a fake. You try to act nice, but you're a whore. I'm watching you." She shouted this in the building's lobby. In front of a lady who lives in 501. In front of a cleaning lady who was cleaning the entrance. I was speechless. I felt my face burn with shame. At that moment, my soul sank. I returned to my apartment trembling, wanting to cry. Being accused of something so dirty, so cowardly, so unfair. It was like being pushed off a building without even knowing why. In the following days, the mood got even worse. No one greeted me anymore. I noticed malicious glances, whispers in the elevator. People crossed the hallway when they saw me coming. And as if that weren't enough, she went further. She sent a message to the condominium group. "Attention, married women. Be careful who you let loose in the building. There are neighbors trying to destroy marriages around here." She didn't name names. But everyone knew it was me. By then, the rumor had become true in many people's minds. And me? I was reduced to a villain in a story I never wrote. I cried alone at night. I thought about moving. I felt ashamed to walk around my own building. All because of an insecure woman, or maybe just malicious. But what she didn't know is that the truth has eyes, and that a building full of cameras doesn't forgive liars. After the scandal in the lobby and the poisonous message in the condominium group, my life in the building became hell. Little by little, I realized how fabricated gossip can be more destructive than a bomb. With each passing day, the weight of the other residents' gazes increased. There were no more smiles, no more waves, only silence and judgment. I started avoiding the elevator. I preferred to take the stairs so I wouldn't have to face the embarrassment of being alone with someone and feeling that tension in the air. People whispered, some even laughed. The neighbor from 402, who used to always offer me cake when she baked, turned her face away. And the worst part? I didn't even know who really believed the story, or who was just afraid of looking like the gossipy neighbor's next victim. The WhatsApp group became a weapon against me. Every topic became an indirect one. One day, one of the residents wrote, "A woman who doesn't respect herself can't demand respect." The message received 8 reactions. I cried reading it. Alone. In silence. Trying to understand how people could be so judgmental without even knowing what happened. That's when I decided to confront the neighbor's husband. He was the liar, after all. I needed to hear from him what was happening. I waited one day for him to come home from work, get out of the car, and I got in the elevator with him. Alone. I said calmly, "Look, I'm sorry to be bringing this up, but your wife accused me of very serious things. And honestly, I need to know, did you say anything about me?" He looked embarrassed. He lowered his eyes. He took a deep breath. "She's going through a rough time." I don't know why she's doing this. But did you tell her I hit on you? Because that's what she said. No. Never. I just said you were polite, that you always say hello. She freaked out. Said you were offering yourself up. At that moment, my entire body froze. So that was it. Insecurity, unhealthy jealousy, a toxic mind, and I became the target. I left the elevator without another word. But something inside me shifted. I wasn't going to accept that injustice in silence any longer. I called the building manager that same night. I asked for access to the security camera footage. He said, "Do you want to see anything specific?" I replied, "I want to see who really needs to explain themselves in this building." And that's when everything started to change. In the garage footage, something caught my eye. On a Friday night, the neighbor left wearing a tight dress, high heels, and impeccable makeup. But her husband wasn't home. The camera showed her getting into a black car that was waiting for her outside the gate. From the angle of the image, the driver's face couldn't be seen. But a few seconds later, a second camera caught her and the man kissing inside the car. And it wasn't just one peck. It was several. Passionate. She stayed in that car for almost an hour. She came back with smeared lipstick. She got in smiling. She didn't even realize she was being filmed. At that moment, I felt everything inside me align. The woman who said I was a homewrecker was the one destroying her own. Now I had proof. Now it was my turn to speak. And I was going to do it in the quietest and most destructive way possible. With the footage in hand, I knew I had the power to turn the tables. But I didn't want a scandal. I wanted justice. And above all, I wanted her to taste her own medicine. I took the videos and sent them to myself. I recorded the screen with the exact moments. Her discreetly leaving the house, getting into the car, the passionate kisses with her lover. I cut the clips, edited the audio, and made everything crystal clear. No distortion. No doubt. The next morning, I joined the condominium group and calmly wrote, "Good afternoon, everyone. For days, I've been accused of a lie that nearly destroyed my life. I've been humiliated, singled out, judged. But the truth always finds a way to come out. Below is an important video for those who believe in justice." And then, I posted the video. The group exploded. There were 15 reactions in less than 2 minutes. Emojis of surprise, wide-eyed, "Oh my God, is this real? Is this her? Did she lie to everyone?" The most incredible thing was her silence. She saw the video and was speechless. No response. No defense. Just the viewed button next to her name. Minutes later, another resident posted, "I always suspected." She seemed more concerned with attacking than taking care of her own life. From that moment on, the expressions changed. Private messages started pouring in for me. "Forgive me for believing her. You're very strong. I'm glad you didn't keep quiet. Now the mask has slipped." But the best was yet to come. That night, the building manager called me. "Did you see what happened?" Her husband asked to leave the building group. And it seems she left her mother's house. "What do you mean?" I asked. "He found out everything. He said he already had doubts and that this video only confirmed them. He threw her clothes off the balcony. He ended the marriage. He said he was made a fool of the whole time." I won't lie, I felt relief. A bitter taste of justice being served. Days later, I learned that she had left the building. Disappeared. She didn't even say goodbye to anyone. And me? I walked with my head held high again. I was greeted in the elevator again. Even the woman from 402 brought me cake again. But this time, I didn't accept it. Because I've learned one thing: the same mouth that judges you today may praise you tomorrow, and neither deserves your trust. In the end, I didn't need to yell. I didn't need to curse. I just needed to show the truth. And she yelled for me. After the exposure in the buildings group, the neighbor who once considered herself the neighborhood's moral judge disappeared. Disappeared from the messages. Disappeared from the elevator. Disappeared from her own husband's life. The man she said I was trying to seduce? She packed her bags. She threw everything away. She said loud and clear in the residence group, The only person who was betrayed here was me. And I still had to listen to lies about a woman who did nothing. I apologized to her publicly. There, in that moment, I didn't need anything else. Justice had been served. But the turnaround didn't stop there. The news spread. In less than 48 hours, the gossip turned the other way. Now it was about her, the false moralist, the perfect wife, who cheated secretly but accused innocent people. They say she tried to leave without being seen. But all it took was one resident at the entrance telling another for the whole neighborhood to find out. The car lover. Married too. His wife found out and sent screenshots of the videos to his entire family. 2 marriages destroyed by the same lie that almost destroyed my peace. You know what hurt me most about this story? It wasn't just what she made up. It was how much people believed it without question. How can they look at someone and decide they're guilty just because someone shouted louder? I, who was always respectful, helpful, and friendly to everyone, was dismissed as a threat. But in the end, it made me stronger. I learned not to depend on anyone's opinion to know who I am. I learned that the truth doesn't need to rush. It arrives when it has to, and when it arrives, it destroys everything that is false. Today, I walk around the building in peace. I've become more reserved, but also more assertive. People still talk to me, now with respect. But I look them in the eye and think, "You believed her too, didn't you?" But I say nothing, because silence was my greatest weapon, and the camera, my greatest witness. Never underestimate the power of truth, because, sooner or later, the mask always falls. Like, subscribe, and share, because here, those who lie come out.